What's up, guys? Welcome back to Cool Fred's Garage. So today I'm tying up a few loose ends on this 1978 Malibu Classic. So I'm gonna show you guys what I got going on with it. All right, so last video, that's why I still got the wheels off. I'm about to put those on probably sometime tomorrow. Put the wheels back on. But pretty much yesterday just got wrapped up with the brake booster. That's pretty much what the last video was about. The getting the brakes bled, putting the master cylinder on, all that good stuff. So I got a lot of that stuff knocked out last video. So this thing is almost ready to rumble. I got a coolant hose to connect on the top, and also I got a with this control box here, the fan control box from the auto cool guy. I had an issue with the sensor, so I had to get that swapped out. So I got another sensor. I'm gonna measure the resistance on that, and then I'm gonna get that installed. But pretty much I just got done putting all the spark plugs in over here. There's probably a little glare over here because I got my light. I got a light down at the bottom. But so everything's coming along pretty good. So I got all the spark plugs in, and right now I'm about to start. I got everything on the passenger side. So I already did the ignition wires and stuff over there, but I'm doing the driver's side now. So the reason I held off on this side is because, in addition to the stuff that we did with the master cylinder brake booster, I also had to relocate some of those brake lines down there because they were a little too close to the header. So I got those kind of, you see right now, I got my light down there. I might turn that off so you guys can see. So actually that light down there, I can adjust it from bright to dim, and I can change the color temperature on it. But just looking down in here, we can kind of see that our header clearance is a whole lot better. So the brake line, this one right here that's kind of wrapped in the heat wrap, is relocated closer to the frame, so it hugs the frame a little bit more, then kind of goes over and then around to the proportional valve. Then the other one over there, it's a little tricky to see that one, but you see the heat wrap on it. It looked like it's kind of close, but it's actually, that's just because the heat wrap is just you know, kind of big. It's 3/4, and that line's only like, you know, like 3/16 line. But it does have the rock guard on it. That's that springy stuff. So just to give it extra protection. So I did both of the basically made some new brake line on the front. So I did the passenger front and the driver's front. So got better header clearance between there to kind of keep the temperatures down from there. So so I got my book out, making sure, double checking my firing order and stuff like that. So a lot, I mean, I kind of know this one, like if I was out stuck on the side of the road or something, if I need it, I can pretty much probably figure out the firing order on a small block Chevy. But you know, it's easier just to open the book and figure it out. So I've had this book probably since I was about 14 to 15 years old. So this right here is an old book, but they still sell a lot of these today. But so it's just a good book. They tell you how to build a small block Chevy, and give you a few pointers on, you know, things to make performance power. But in 2024, I don't think I'm probably ever build another engine again. I didn't build this one. This one right here was built by a speed shop. But you know, I'm like, these days I'm pretty much just buying a crate motor and dropping it in. In some cases, like maybe I guess if I do a LS, because I got my eye on a couple ideas for maybe a LS. Maybe like if I don't, other option other than getting the crate motor, maybe I see some 408 bottom ends out there. That's pretty much like block pistons, mostly built. All you gotta do is throw a cam in it and some heads. You know, maybe that way. But other than that, you know, I'm pretty much going the crate engine route. You know, it's just a lot simpler. You don't have to worry about your car in the machine shop, going back and forth, this and that. You just order the horsepower you want and just drop it in. So, but it's still a good book for, you know, just kind of going along, you know, getting your distributor and things like that dropped in. So pretty much the only thing I'm using this book for is just the firing order, because it just kind of it tells you right there. So I pretty much know the firing order, but just versus me having to rack my brain, you know what I'm saying, I'm just gonna you know, I know on this side, this is the odd side. So this right here is 1, 3, 5, and 7. So I know pretty much where 1 and 7 is. So, but yeah, that's what I'm about to start doing. Get these wires over here routed nice and neat. I kind of got them zip tied off because, you know, when I first dropped the engine in, the distributor came pretty much in here from the speed shop that built it. They already pretty much ran it on the dyno. Pretty much all I gotta do is just organize these wires. They're gonna kind of run down through there, like up under all this throttle cable stuff. So I'm gonna make it look nice and neat. In addition to that, we got some, we got these little heat tubes here. So these are gonna keep the spark plug wires off, basically to protect them from the header. So this is like, it's kind of close to the DEI stuff, but it's a lot cheaper. You can go on Amazon and get these sleeves, put over your spark plug wires. And then this kit right here has some little organizers in there so you can kind of make your wires nice and neat. So that's pretty much what I'm gonna be doing next. And if it helps, that's this particular part number. But Amazon usually has a whole bunch of variety of stuff. So, but if you type in small block Chevy spark plug heat protectors, I'm sure you'll pull it up. And the other thing is this coolant hose here. So the coolant hose that we had a couple of Continental hoses, but for some reason I had 2 different lower radiator hoses. So I know I matched this one up over here. I know that one, the one that I have on here, is working for the lower radiator hose. I have it off right now because that coolant temp sensor that's for the electric fan control box, I got to get that squared away. So that's why that hose is disconnected. But I had that hose hooked up, and the only last hose I had to connect was this one up here by this water net. So this right here is a universal adjustable water net. All I got to do is kind of tighten it down. But this hose right here is going to work out perfect, but I do have to trim it a little bit. I may have to trim it like where it goes to the upper radiator neck, maybe about a ½ an inch or an inch or so. But this will work out perfect. But for some reason, like I was saying, the other one, that other one that I was gonna use, it ended up having a this right here is 1.5 inches on both ends. That one ended up having a 2 inches on one end and 1.5 inches on the other end. So the 2 inches is normally the water pump inlet or outlet or whatever you want to call it. I think that's the inlet, the water pump inlet. That's usually the biggest one on these small block Chevy. So I'm gonna go ahead and continue to get rolling, and I'll turn on the camera and get a little bit of footage of me just kind of going along, getting this thing ready to run. So we're real close now. Another thing I got to do is finish getting the tachometer hooked up. So that's the tach right there. So that's the next thing, and I'll probably just talk about how to install that, especially how to hook up your wires and stuff. So those are pretty simple to get installed. All right, so if I have some extra time on my hand, I normally show a tip or two or something that can make your life easy. So this right here will apply to any small block Chevy or any V8 back in the 60s, 70s era, where you got spark plug wires and a distributor, no matter which one. So pretty much the main thing is looking at your diagram. So you can go to Google or anywhere and pull up some type of diagram and the firing order for whichever particular engine that you got. But pretty much once you get that narrowed down, and when you're going to put your spark plug wires on, sometimes, because all of these look pretty similar, so it's easy to get them mixed up. So what I normally do is I'll take a Sharpie. I got my blue Sharpie over here, and I normally take that or something and then just kind of make a mark. Like that's cylinder 1 right there, and this is cylinder 3, and then we got 7 and 5. So that kind of make your life a little bit easier. But as far as these spark plug boot protectors that I'm about to put on there, it's a little bit tricky trying to get these on. So the best way I found to get them on is to gently pull off the boots off the wires and just slide those bad boys on there. So this pretty much is what I got going on over here. I got them kind of like that there. So that's pretty much the same the same thing I'm gonna do over here for the driver's side. All right, so here we go. So pretty much when you pull that boot off, it's gonna look pretty much like this. But you want to be kind of careful. Sometimes you got to kind of just tug on it gently and pull it, and then it'll slide right out. So these right here are some real nice performance Taylor ignition wire. So these are a little bit better, but in some cases, if you just get some in AutoZone or your local parts store, not saying that they're bad, but they just made like the insulation and stuff like that. Just may be put together a little bit different, and they may be a little bit more flimsier. So when you go to pull the boot off, you may end up pulling this end right here off. So that's the only thing you got to be careful of with those. So pretty much now I'm in a position where I can just kind of just slide this right here over there, and after it's over there, I can just kind of just slide this boot back on. So pretty much I just been just kind of just sliding them back on. I haven't needed any dielectric grease or anything like that, but I'm sure that may help get it to go on a little bit better. But that's pretty much how I've been getting them on this project right here. And this is pretty much what it looks like when it's all said and done. And then for some of the ones like this one right here, where that spark plug right there is kind of inside the header a little bit more. In some cases, what you can do, you can kind of just kind of push it down a little bit more, and it will go kind of over there and protect it a little bit more. I can't hold a camera and do it at the same time, but I'll show you guys kind of what it looks like in a second. So pretty much like that, you just kind of roll it down a little bit, and it'll just kind of be like that, where it covers most of the boot to kind of protect it from the heat from the header. So that's pretty much what I'm gonna do, and I'm gonna get them all put in there, and then I'll get them pretty much kind of somewhat organized, and then I'll put these little these wire organizers on there, so that'll make it kind of look nice and neat and kind of keep them from flopping all over the place. All right, so here's what we got here. So got all the spark plug wires and the boot protectors on, and got everything hooked up to the distributor. So this is pretty much gonna wrap this one up for today. The only other thing I got to tackle is I got to get that sensor. Got to get the sensor for the control box on the fan controller. Get the upper radiator hose in, and then we'll be ready to get the coolant topped off in this thing. So get the coolant system filled. Oil is already in the engine. We got a little bit of transmission fluid in there, maybe about 3.5 quarts. So basically the pan is full in the transmission, and then as it starts up and run, we'll top it off. So it's probably gonna need it's gonna need about 2 or 3 more quarts in the transmission. But everything's looking good. This thing's almost ready to fire up and get running. So it's been quite a project getting this thing together, but we got it together, and it's looking good. So everything's in here. Electric fans, CVF belt drive. You got the Brawler carburetor. So it's lots of nice little goodies on here. Got those I think those are the Flowtech headers, I believe. That's on here. So everything's kind of coming out nice on it. So soon we'll get this thing fired up and get it back to the customer. As always, thank you guys for checking out Cool Fred's Garage. We'll see you on the next video.